Well, hey, it's Rob, and I've been sharing stories lately. I'm going to share a story that nobody knows. Well, nobody until now, I guess. But I am pretty sure this happened, and I'll tell you what I know, and you can be the judge. Anyway, so when I first moved out to Los Angeles, I'm a recording engineer, and one of my first jobs was working at a place called the Record Plant, which is a big studio in Los Angeles. And of course, if you want a job in a big studio, you got to start at the bottom, and that's what I did. So my first job was parking cars at the Record Plant recording studio. They had a little parking lot and a little shack, and I sat out there all day, which was funny because I had a lot of experience working as a valet parker. It was a job I did over the summer during college, so I was perfect for it. Anyway, so a lot of people drove in during the time that I was parking cars there, which was about 3 months, and then I got promoted. I got to be the midnight to 8 janitor, so I was at least inside the building. It was getting cold, even in LA, so hey, apparently that was a step up. So, like I said, I parked a lot of people's cars. David Crosby was there. Guns N' Roses guys were there. Bonnie Raitt. I parked Milli Vanilli's Suzuki Samurai. I parked Iggy Pop's Hyundai, which had no windshield. Not sure why, but so got to park the cars of the stars. And at the time, the Beastie Boys were working there, and I know they had started Paul's Boutique, their second record, at Matt Dyke's studio, which I think was just in his apartment or something in Koreatown. And since they were flush with cash and had a big record company advance, they came to a big studio like the Record Plant, and I think initially they hated it. They weren't happy with what they were getting, so they left. They went back to the apartment, started doing more work. Anyway, so this is around the time, like I said, their second record, Paul's Boutique, was coming out. They were at the Record Plant recording, and they had and I remember cars because I'm just a car guy, and I remember what people have. They had a rented Ford Escort, and I thought, yeah, these guys are doing great. They can't do any better than this. They have to rent a cheap little blue Ford Escort. But that's what they had, and like I said, they did their time, and then they left for a bit, and maybe a month later, I think by that point, I was promoted to the midnight to 8 janitor. I got a call one of those nights, and it was from, Hertz Rent-A-Car or whatever, and they said, "Is Michael Diamond there?" And I thought, Michael Diamond, who's that? Oh, Mike D from the Beastie Boys. Well, he wasn't there anymore. They had left. I said no, and they said, well, he never returned his Ford Escort rental car. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. I think by then maybe they were on tour or back in New York or whatever. I'm not sure what was going on, but so I didn't think much about it. And then maybe a couple days later, I was watching the news, and there was a story about a blue Ford Escort that someone had pushed off the top of Mulholland, and Mulholland is the ridge road on top of the mountains that separate the San Fernando Valley from Hollywood, from the rest of LA. And they had pushed this blue Ford Escort into a swimming pool off the top of Mulholland into the pool. Now, what are the chances that I get a call and they're looking for this rental car that's missing, and then there's a story of one that's been pushed over a cliff? Now, I looked, and I just cannot find anywhere to confirm that the story of the car that went into the pool was, out there somewhere online. I don't see it anywhere in the Beastie Boys lore or whatever. They've told their story many times, and we've never heard the story of this rent-a-car, but I'm pretty sure. And I think we even heard rumors later on that, yes, indeed, they went up to the top of Mulholland, and they pushed their rented Ford Escort right over a cliff. So maybe one day we'll find out if this is true or not, but I've assumed it is for the last 30 years. And hey, if you're, a usually famous rap band with a giant, advance from your record company, hey, you're going to do stuff like push your car off a cliff. It's, I think it's required, actually, if you read the handbook. All right, here's your story for the day. See you later. Bye.